Hello, everyone. So, I am going to do a video today on how to incorporate nature into your practice. As a pagan, right, we honor nature. We actively participate in nature and things that we can do to improve nature, improve our planet, improve and connect our lives with Mother Earth and really become one. Here are some ways that we can further do that if you're not already doing them. Grow herbs. Grow herbs and your own vegetables and your own fruits. Really enjoy the process. Now, if you don't have a green thumb, you can try a plant that isn't herbs and vegetables and fruits because they tend to be a little bit more tricky. But you can do something like a spider plant or anything like that that's really easy and just practice your green thumb. Do some research on the zones in which you live in and when you should plant them and, how much water and how much sun they require and, things like that. So growing herbs and fruits and vegetables, not only are you giving, your time to to these plants, but they're going to be giving back to you. And so this is an energetic exchange between you and Mother Earth. So here you are taking care and nurturing this herb garden or this vegetable plant or this fruit tree or whatever it is that you decide to grow. And you will have a harvest when it reaches its peak. So you are giving your time and your energy and all this care and love and nurturing energy, and it will be feeding you and sustaining you and providing you with herbs and vegetables and fruit as well. So there is an even exchange, and I love how people just they'll beep continuously. So if you hear continuous beeping, I apologize. Next is go on a hike in the woods, anywhere really, and on a trail, in a campground, anywhere, and find a place to meditate. It can be a tree stump that you can sit down. You can bring something to sit on if you don't want to sit on the ground. You can stand even. Take off your shoes and your socks if you're wearing socks and stand barefooted on the earth and connect to the earth and have a meditation. You could bring a blanket and lay down. You can do any of these things and really connect to the air around you. Connect to the trees. Connect to the bugs that are flying around. Connect to the animals that are walking in the distance. Listen to the sounds that are going on around you. Really connecting and tuning in to nature while you're having this meditation. Leave an offering to the animals. You can do this anywhere. You can do this at your local park. You can do this at the beach. You can do this, in the wooded area on the outskirts of your city. You could do this in your backyard. Leave an offering to the animals that live around you. Notice what kind of animals that you're seeing. Are you seeing hummingbirds? Put on a hummingbird feeder. Are you seeing rabbits? Put out some food for them. I'm not sure what wild rabbits eat. I know they eat different plants and things like that but maybe you can grow a garden for them. See what it is that they like and you can grow it and have a little rabbit garden. Keep plants in your home. Excuse me. And take good care of them. So make sure you don't forget to water them. Make sure that sometimes your plants can become infested with aphids. They can become infested with mites, different kind. You want to make sure that nothing like that happens because it will kill your plant. Peppermint oil, 10 drops of peppermint oil in a spray bottle, like a 16 or 20 ounce spray bottle, will kill anything, and it's safe for your plants. If you have pets, though, use caution. And the same thing with keeping plants indoors. Some plants are toxic to animals, so please make sure that you're being mindful of keeping safe plants for your animals inside if you have cats and dogs. Make your own beeswax candles, giving gratitude to the bees for providing. You can also just buy beeswax candles, but I think it would be a fun project to do, to make beeswax candles, like buying beeswax from your local what do they call them? What do they call them, people? I feel like I know the word. The word's there at the tip of my tongue, and it's just not coming out. Anyway, so you have somebody who raises bees, keeps bees, a beekeeper. Oh my God. A beekeeper. Go to your local beekeeper and see if you can buy honey off of them. And, there's a way to make that honey into wax. And I don't know the full process, but do some research and do that. If you're a crafty kind of person, definitely look into that. Or you can just buy beeswax candles, as I do, because, I tend to make a mess with everything. And beeswax and making candles, I'm sure, would be the icing on the cake for messes for me. Build a fairy garden. If you have property, if you have a little, even if you have just like a porch, you don't need a lot of, space. But if you have like an area in your backyard or front yard or porch or whatever, make a little fairy garden, to welcome the fairies. Make sure you leave an offering for them, or else they might get fun with your things. So if you invite fairies into your home, it's important that you leave offerings and keep them happy. Manners are everything for fairies. So, making sure that you leave them some cream or shiny things, silver. Make sure that you leave them offerings, or else they can cause a little bit of trouble, and you don't want that. Start a compost pile if you own your own house. You can start your own compost pile and reduce the amount that you're throwing away and adding to the landfill and things like that. Walk barefoot as much as you can. So if you're just going to be in your yard and you are going to be just, gardening or whatever, try to be as barefoot as much as possible. That just it reinforces your connection to the earth. Build an outdoor altar if you have the ability to do so. So let's say if you have like an old tree stump in your yard, or even like you have like a table you can put out there. You can even build like a little carport or whatever over it, or you can have it exposed to the elements, whatever you choose, but building an outdoor altar. That way you have the ability to go outside and practice your work while working with nature. You can do that. Go outside and watch the clouds. Write down different shapes and images you see in the clouds. So this can almost be like a form of divination, in the sense that, if you have like a hammock, or you have a nice chair that you can like lay back in like a sunbathing chair, or whatever, the ones that, they're either like the patio chairs, or they have the ones that used to fold in like 3 places and you open them and you can like lay back. You can use one of those and just enjoy being outside, enjoy watching the clouds and the different shapes and what you see, and write down anything that really sticks out to you. Hug some trees. This is huge for me. This is something I do. I don't care if people look at me like I'm crazy. I don't care what people think about me. There was a time that I used to care. I don't care anymore. And I go out, and if I see a tree that calls to me, the love that the trees get from me is, I love the connection that I have with trees. Don't be afraid or ashamed to be who you are. If people think you're crazy, that is not a you problem. That is them. That's a them problem. That's not English, but you know what I'm trying to say. Last but not least is, I think, something that some of you might enjoy a lot. I know I do. Adopt a tree. And not in the legal sense, or like how they have these like fundraisers where you can adopt a star, or adopt a tree in a forest somewhere, or have a tree planted in your name. Not in that sense. Adopt a tree by taking a walk through your local park, taking a walk through your local cemetery, and walk around. Take your time walking around. Take time to look at the trees. Find a tree that calls to you. When you find that tree that's calling to you, introduce yourself to that tree. Put your hands on that tree and have an energy flow between the both of you. between the tree and yourself. Exchange that energy. Sit by the tree. Talk to the tree. Build a relationship with the tree. When you leave, say goodbye. Go back and check on the tree once a week. Do the same thing once a week where you go to this tree and you sit and you have a conversation with the tree. Leave an offering by the tree if you choose. Treat this tree as if you would treat it like how you would treat a family member. Treat this tree how you would treat a sick family member. Going to visit them, making sure that they are okay. If there's litter around the tree, if there's garbage, pick it up and throw it away. You're making sure that, it's not overgrown with, weeds or anything like that. When the leaves fall, when it's autumn and the leaves start falling, take some of those leaves home and, use them as an altar decoration. You can make, wreaths and things like that. You can make like different crafty things with the leaves. Build a relationship with that tree. So you're adopting the tree in the actual sense of the word. You're going out there and you are sharing experience with another living thing that is not human. Trees are one of the most underappreciated necessity on this planet. Trees are needed. They are needed for our survival. They are not treated like they are needed. And they need to feel important. And this is something I feel very strongly about, is that trees, everything should feel important. You have people who don't care about animals, yes, but you have a lot of people that do. You have, people that don't care about plants, growing plants, but then you have a lot of people that do. Trees are overlooked in a lot of ways. Even people who love trees overlook them a majority of the time because they're everywhere, right? And so they're so abundant. And so it's like one of those things that we almost take for granted. So go out and adopt a tree and spend time with that tree. It could be a tree in your backyard if you choose. That way, if you're afraid of people saying something about you, and that's why I mentioned the cemetery. There's not a lot of people in the cemetery. It's a quiet place. It's a place where, I enjoy spending time because it's so quiet, So if you choose to go to a cemetery, it's a very peaceful place. And I think the trees there, they have a purpose, and of course they give us life, really, essentially. They provide us with the air that we breathe. Why not go out and make one? Could you imagine if everybody adopted a tree? All the trees, maybe not every single one because there's a lot of trees, but there's also a lot of people. So imagine if we all went out and adopted a tree and made them feel special and exchanged energy with them, made them feel loved and appreciated and important as they really are. So that's a wonderful way to connect with nature, in that way to say, I love you and I'm going to make sure that you are okay, and I'm going to check in on you and I'm going to take care of you. So, and those are just some of my ideas of how you can connect with nature in a really easy way that's completely doable. So I hope that you found this video useful, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.